In this session, we're going to connect to a Traqmate Classic display unit. All you're going to need to do is plug it into your USB, and you'll get some confirmation bing. Essentially, then you just hit connect to Traqmate. In this case, we've already connected to this particular unit. It's located on COM 3. If you've never connected, you can hit auto connect, and it will basically go through all the COM ports and select the right one, or if you need to manually enter it in, you can do that. So once you're actually connected to the unit, this allows you to see all the sessions that you've done, essentially all the data that you've recorded. In this case, we have 3 files. You can then select each one. In this case, we'll just say we want to download this last one here. You go down to the download selected sessions, and it will download it. You can also go in and erase that session. Hit confirm, get rid of it, and it goes away. Now once that information is on your computer, you can safely get rid of these sessions. Also, once you connect to the unit, you can enter in unit information, see some info on the firmware, hardware, as well as the time offset and any personal information you want to save in the unit. This is also a great place to set up the user data. You can enter in driver information. You can also enter in tracks. Using our share and compare website on Traqmate.com, you can actually go to every track in the world. We have all the start finishes saved there, and you can manually enter in each one of those for any tracks that you haven't been to. So when you get there, the start finish will already be set. Obviously, if you go out to a new track and you haven't done this yet, you can just hit the green button at the start finish line, and it will set that for you. And remember, the start finish is not set in stone. You can always move that start finish in software at any time you want. So you're not, if you didn't set it right on the straightaway, it's not the end of the world. You can just drag it exactly where you want it, and it will recalculate the laps, and you'll be good to go. Also set the sampling rate here at the bottom. In this case, we'll set it to 40 Hertz, which is the highest sampling rate. The higher the rate, the more data it uses. So if you are doing an extremely long session, you can set it at 20 or 10. If you're just going out for a 30-minute or hour run or something like that, 40 is a better way to go. You're going to get higher quality data there. And in cars, you're going to basically, you can put in any information, weight, engine info, rev warning, all that kind of stuff, and you can save that information. Now I/O data, we haven't made any changes, so I'll just say no. Now I/O data, this is where you would, if you had any inputs on the car, so if you had any additional sensors, you were using a TrackData Pro or TrackData HD or TrackData 2 or any other connection we offer. Essentially, you would go in here and input whatever you wanted to call it. You would also put in the volts, the scale, and that kind of information. Now that's going to vary depending on whatever sensor you're using, and a lot of that information should come with the sensor that you purchase, and it may take some little bit of fiddling, back and forth just to figure it out. And we definitely recommend a professional installation of sensors and that kind of thing because they do vary. We often recommend AEM because their sensors work well with our system. You can also put in digitals and things like that for like a brake light or a camera setup. And if you ever need to actually update the firmware, if you purchased a system within the last year or so, you should have the latest firmware on the unit. But if for some reason you need to upgrade the unit, you'll need to make sure you have both the sensor unit and the Traqmate display, the classic display, connected together. And once you do that and you're connected via USB like we are here, you can click Browse and select the firmware you want. And in this case, we will basically just pick one of these, SU firmware, you hit Open, and essentially you hit Press Start, and it'll wipe everything off of the the sensor unit, and then you will also do the same thing for the display unit. So it's good to download the sessions first before you start this, and you can also save any other data. You can save the user setup before you do that, because basically it's going to wipe everything out once you do that. But so for instance, once you actually upgrade the unit's firmware, before you click OK, it's basically blank at that point. So you're going to want to go back to user data after you've saved it, and you're going to want to hit get user data, and essentially it's going to repopulate all that information. That's a good way to not lose all your information. And that's basically it for connecting to the display unit. Just hit OK after that, and we haven't made any changes. Hit OK, and from there you're basically taken to the Track Studio or Track View screen, and you can go to File or Open and essentially open your data file that you've just downloaded in there, and then you have it right pop up in front of you.